Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to take a look at my Day 0 First Impressions build of Rinku from Team Rokuyukai. He's probably one of the scarier ones when it comes to speed rolling your opponent, but let's take a look. This is going to be a Chaos build. He does have Air, Chaos, and Order, so Denki 1 symbols, but we're going to focus on the Chaos symbol today. He's a 7 hand size... excuse me, 7 hand size, 20 health character. He's got an enhance that says this attack gets plus X speed. X equals the number of times you've played this enhance this combat phase. So each attack is going to get progressively faster. So the easier ones to block are going to be at the beginning, but the ones that are going to be probably needing you to block are going to be much faster at the end. And then response, he also has a response at the start of your end phase. If your rival has committed a card in their stage this turn due to your effect, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So if you stun, you add the top card of your deck to your momentum. If you have any targeted committal, you add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So he's going to be able to amass this resource of extra momentum pretty much every turn. And let's see how he uses that momentum. First off, for our attacks, we have Around the World, a 5/2 with a 4 mid for 6 with a +2 mid block. It has ranged, stun 1, and throw. So the stun 1 is going to gain us our momentum at the end of the turn if it's not stopped. It says enhance, discard 1 momentum, add 1 copy of Around the World or Walk the Dog from your discard pile to your hand. So using that momentum to pick up extra attacks. And then as a Team Rokuyukai enhance, you can force your rival to discard 1 momentum. So kind of keeping a little bit of an edge in that momentum race. Next up we have Walk the Dog, his 8 difficulty, 3 control, 6 low for 6 with a +2 low block. It has powerful 3, ranged, stun 1, and weapon. So again, that stun 1, really going to come in handy. And as a static, it says this attack gets -1 difficulty for each committed foundation in your rival's stage, max of -4. So most of the time, this could be a 4 difficulty, 6 low for 6, with stun 1 and powerful 3, which is ridiculous. And as in his enhance, it says draw 1 card for each copy of Walk the Dog in your card pool. So bare minimum, this is a 6 low 6, stun 1 that draws you 1 card. And if you then Around the World for another Walk the Dog, you could draw you 2 cards and be a 6 low 6, stun 1. So pretty solid. Then I chose 16 Instant Slashes. This is one of the Hiei time-shifted cards. It is a 5/3 with a 5 mid 5 with a +2 high block. It's got Fury and Weapon. It says, as a Hiei enhance, if you have exactly 16 cards in your discard pile, this attack's unblockable. We're not Hiei, so we're not going to worry about it. It does have 2 first enhances to choose from, though. The first of which is, this attack gains 1 speed and 1 damage for each of your momentum. Since we are playing some throws and we generate a lot of momentum, it's probably going to be a good way to not necessarily use that momentum, but benefit from it by throwing a lot of stats on this card. Or we could do the first enhance, your next check to play an attack gets +X, X equals your momentum. So it can either extend our string, or it could be the string ender, which is really cool to have that kind of flexibility on a card like this. Next we have Cage of Hell, a 3/3, 0 low for 2 with a +1 low block. It has Breaker 1, Stun 1, and Weapon. So Breaker, good defensive ability. Stun, we obviously want to commit cards on our opponent's turn. This says enhance, your next weapon attack this turn gets +3 speed and +2 damage. And every attack in this deck except for Around the World is a weapon. So anything but Around the World can really carry those stats well. And then enhance, add this card to your momentum during the end phase. So even if your opponent blocks it because it's only 0 speed, you're going to gain that momentum no matter what. Next up we have Rapid Speed Slash, a 4/3, 4 low for 4 with a +1 mid block. It also has Breaker 1. It also has EX and Weapon. And it says enhance, draw 1 card or add the top card of your deck to your momentum, only playable if you have at least 1 momentum. Considering Rinku has a whole bunch of stun, we're usually going to have 1 momentum unless this is the first attack we ever play during the game. So we could draw a card to kind of extend our strings, or we can get more momentum if we want to set up for a big 16 instant slashes or dump a bunch into this EX, or walk the dog's powerful. And lastly, for our attacks, we have Ambush Thrust, a 4/3, 4 mid for 4 with a +3 mid block, Fury and Weapon as its keywords. It says enhance, add 1 card from your momentum to your hand. So any of these cards like Around the World or Cage of Hell that would automatically add themselves to your momentum, or if any of these attacks like 16 instant slashes hit, we can pick them up and reuse them. And then enhance, destroy 1 foundation. As a cost, you destroy 1 of your own foundations. If your rival has 4 or more committed foundations, this attack gets +3 damage. So it becomes a 4 mid for 7 if your opponent has a bunch of committed foundations, and then Rinku can add a bunch of speed onto it to actually turn this 4 mid 4 into a decent threat of a card that would also pick up another attack from your momentum. Say a Walk the Dog that would then get -4 difficulty, turning a 4 mid 4, which could become like a X mid 7, into a 4 difficulty X low for 6 with powerful 3. So all in all, a mostly weapon attack lineup, except for the Around the World, but I think Around the World is too good to not include in any Rinku deck, or any deck with Walk the Dog. Moving on to our non-foundations, we have our only asset, Cape of No Return. I've been talking a lot about this asset as probably one of the best defensive assets in the game right now. It's a 3/4 +3 high block, unique keyword, and it says enhance, remove this attack from the game entirely, just get rid of it. And it also comes with the fun mind game of making your opponent question how much they want to put into an attack as long as this is on the board. And then if they choose not to put a whole bunch into the attack, you can deal with it as proper. And then if they do put a bunch into the attack, you can just yeet it into no return. Then we have our actions. And the only action I chose is the Dark Tournament Looms, a 1/5 with a +2 mid block. It says enhance, remove, add 1 card from your momentum to your hand, draw 1 card. So you get 2 cards out of this 1. You get an attack from your momentum, and you get to draw an extra card. So as just a regular old enhance, that's pretty solid, and I'm really glad that they brought Dark Tournament Looms back. Moving on to our foundation base, we have Rokuyukai Huddle, a 2/5 with a +2 high block, ally and unique keywords. It says enhance, commit, discard 1 momentum, mill 3. Add 1 stun attack milled this way to your hand. So, let's see, Around the World, Walk the Dog, Cage of Hell, those are our 3 stun attacks, so we're probably not doing the mill 3 too much, but we do get the Team Rokuyukai response. After your rival commits 1 or more foundations due to your effect, this attack gets +1 damage. So every time we stun, it's stun 1 +1 damage. If we have a stun and then a foundation that would also force a commit, that's +2 damage, because this doesn't just activate once per enhance step. So that, pretty solid. Then we've got Fearsome Transformations, the Momotaro Foundation, a 1/5 with a +3 high block. It says enhance, flip, draw 1 card. If you have no momentum, discard 1 card. As long as we've forced 1 of our stuns through, we're always going to have 1 momentum after that, so this is usually going to just be draw 1 card. Then we've got Acrobatic Style, a 1/5 with a +3 low block. It says response tenacious, flip. After a rival foundation is committed due to your effect, ready this card. So if you commit it to pass a check, and then you stun 1, you can flip it over to ready it. Always good for stuff like that. Then we've got Childlike Appearance, a 2/4 with a +2 high block. It says enhance, destroy, discard 1 momentum, reduce this attack's speed to 0. If it is blocked, commit 1 rival foundation. So that's a targeted committal. It's not like a stun or your rival chooses one. You pick the foundation that gets to be committed defensively. It just for blocking their 0 speed attack, which is pretty cool. Then we've got Power of the Serpent Yo-Yos, a 3/5 with a +2 mid block and the weapon keyword. It says enhance if your attack is +1 speed, only playable if it shares at least 2 symbols with your character. 1, 2, 3. 3 of our attacks share the +1, the 2 symbols with our character, which is not great, but Around the World can pick up Around the World and Walk the Dog. Cage of Hell is simple, and we do have some momentum recursion with Ambush Thrust and Dark Tournament Looms, so we can still get that extra speed if necessary. But given how fast Rinku can already make things, that's not entirely necessary. And then it has Enhanced Flip. If your rival has no ready foundations, your next check gets +1. So if you've got them all stunned out, you want to go in for one big push, maybe one final 16 instant slashes at the end of a string, you can flip these to give plus to your check in order to push that final attack through. Next up we have Banshee's Sword Shriek, a 0/5 with a +3 mid-block. Weapon keyword. It says response flip after a weapon attack is played, it gets +2 or -1 damage. So this is bonus damage at response speed, which is pretty cool. We don't have to worry about the enhances on that. Then we have Crowd's Darling, a 2/5 with a +2 mid-block. It says first form, discard 1 momentum. Your checks to play weapon attacks get +1 for the rest of the turn. All but one of our attacks have the weapon keyword, so we get +1 to all of those checks for the rest of the turn. So as long as we keep drawing more weapon attacks, we can just keep going. And then Enhanced Commit, if your attack deals damage, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. Since we want momentum for things like 16 instant slashes and Ambush Thrust to pick it up, or Dark Tournament Looms to pick up cards, this is always going to be a net positive for us. Then we've got Hungry for Fame, a 2/5 with a +3 high block. It says Enhance Commit Flip, add 1 card from your momentum to your hand. Again, this is just picking up attacks out of our momentum that we're stacking in with Rinku, we're stocking in with basically Rinku, of just adding more cards to our momentum. Crowd's Darling, Rapid Speed Slash can add a card to our momentum. So this is just basically trying to use our momentum as a second hand if need be. Next up we've got No Restraint, a 1/5 with a +2 low block and the Fury keyword for some reason. Although I guess that face is pretty furious. Enhance, discard 1 momentum, your weapon attack gets +3 speed. So imagine putting +3 speed plus Rinku's speed on something like Walk the Dog or 16 instant slashes that's been boosted by that 1 speed and 1 damage for each of your momentum. You can really easily push any of your attacks through to make them the killing blow, and this doesn't even commit. You just discard a momentum. So if you've got all the attacks you need in hand, or you've picked up all the stuff you need from your momentum, you can just dump momentum onto your weapon attacks for speed to make sure that they all connect. Next up, Human Hunter, a 1/5 with a +3 low block. It says response commit. After your attack deals damage, your next attack this turn gets +2 speed and +1 damage. So you give it speed, which Rinku's also going to take more advantage of, and you get a little bit of extra damage on top just for your attack connecting. And this doesn't say non-throw, so when Around the World as a throw deals damage, you can guarantee that your next attack is going to be faster and hit a little harder. Then we've got Protecting Yukina, a 2/4 with a +1 mid-block. It says, response, discard 1 momentum. After you block with this card, the blocked attack deals no damage. This means if you partial block something, if you block a throw, or if you block an attack that would normally say it still deals 1 damage, that attack's going to deal no damage provided you discard the momentum for this response. And then Enhance, Destroy, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. Again, more momentum gain as we need it. Then we have Dangerous Combatant, a 1/5 with a +3 low block, the weapon keyword. It says Enhance, Flip, if your rival has more foundations committed than ready, draw 1 card. Given the sheer amount of stun and card committal that we want to do with Rinku anyway, this is going to be live 9 times out of 10. Excuse me. Next up we have Deft Maneuvers, a 2/5 with a +1 high block. It says Enhance, Destroy 1 foundation. Your weapon attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage. So a bit of speed, bit of damage, helps keep you out of deadlock. Pretty good. And then a Deadlock Enhance, speaking of deadlock, your weapon attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage. So if your opponent builds into deadlock to deal with all of your stun, you're going to get free stats on all of your weapon attacks with Deft Maneuvers. So if you can stack multiples of these, you can get +2, +2, +3, +3, on top of the Destroy ability, which can basically double all of these stats that you're going to be throwing on all of these big weapon attacks. Next up, we have Strange Friendship, a 2/6 with a +2 high block. It says, Enhance Commit, your attack gets +1 damage for each weapon attack in your card pool. So if we're extending our strings thanks to Crowd's Darling, Walk the Dog, or Around the World being able to pick up Walk the Dog maybe drawing more weapon attacks, we can throw one big final bomb and then turn Strange Friendship sideways to add even more damage on top of that. And by then, our rival should be pretty much tapped out to where they can't block that attack. Next up, Transformation Materials, a 0/5 with a +3 mid-block. It says, Enhance Flip, if your rival has lost health this turn, your weapon attack is +2 damage. Rinku gives a bunch of speed on his face as the turn goes on, so the one thing he's lacking is damage. So with Deft Maneuver, Strange Friendship, Transformation Materials, we're guaranteeing that we're going to stack a bunch of damage on these late string attacks that are just going to get faster and faster and faster to the point where our rival cannot keep up with us. This guy's going to snowball incredibly dangerously. Next up, a nice little weapon of choice here, a 3/5 with a +3 mid-block, the weapon keyword. It says, Enhance Commit, if your rival has lost health this turn, draw one card. Around the World is a throw, it will always deal damage, provided they don't have some sort of fancy block or damage negation. So that will turn this card on to be able to draw a card, and then as a Tenacious Enhance, we can discard one momentum, this weapon attack gets +3 damage. Again, stacking more damage on these already incredibly fast Rinku moves as the turn goes on. Then we've got Nice Try for 2/5 with a +3 low block and the Taunt keyword. It says Enhance Commit, this attack gets -2 speed, and then response, after your rifle's combat phase begins, ready this foundation playable while committed. So we committed on our turn to pass our checks, it readies up on our rival's turn to give us that speed hate that we need as we are a little 7-hand size 20 health character. And lastly, Expanding Capacity, a 2/5 with a +2 mid-block and the Tech keyword. It says, Enhance, discard 2 momentum. Your attack gets +3 speed and +3 damage. So if we don't have deft maneuvers or we don't have a lot of extra stuff like Weapon of Choice, we can just dump all of our extra momentum into 3 speed and 3 damage on top of these already speedy and dangerous weapon attacks. And then as a response, Commit. After your rival gains health due to their non-character effect, they commit 1 foundation. So there's a lot in this set that can gain health, especially on the life symbol. So, and I guess on the evil symbol as well. So you can just be able to force your opponent to commit more stuff as they try to gain health to then put you in a better position to just totally wipe them out on the next turn. Especially with all this extra momentum we've generated, just being able to pitch 2 momentum for 3 speed and 3 damage. So that is all for Rinku. This is a 69 card deck, pretty solid blocks. And off of Chaos, this is just the first instance I thought of. I thought him sharing Chaos with Toga 3 gives you a whole bunch of more weapon attacks, considering Walk the Dog was a weapon, and Around the World could just pick up Walk the Dog if you need to. So having a weapons package would probably be really good. He shares 2 symbols with Shishi Wakamaru, and because of all the momentum generation, I felt 16 instant slashes would be a really good either flow extender or game ender, and I really like how this kind of synergizes with itself. But with that being said, what do you guys think? Do you think Rinku is going to be the little runaway that he looks like he's going to be? Or do you think that you'll be able to deal with him pretty easily given how low his health is and the fact that he focuses pretty much entirely on stun? If you enjoyed deck building content, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. I could always use more support and more, not necessarily tips, but whatever you guys want me to build. If you're curious about a certain character but maybe unsure how to build them, feel free to comment and let me know, hey, I'd like to see what you could do with this character because I really like this character and I'm stuck. I'm going to be finishing up my day zeros for these Dark Tournament characters here soon, hopefully, as long as YouTube doesn't take forever to upload them like they did last night. But we're winding down to the final stretch, and Dark Tournament comes out February 23rd, so go support your local game store and pick this up because it is local game store exclusive. And next weekend's release events are how you enter the Wish tournament, which I'm really looking forward to hopefully winning my way into. So if you liked the video, go ahead and like, subscribe if you haven't already, please, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.